So 10 years ago, I actually bought my first 3D printer, which I know might be a little confusing because I'm telling you all that I'm new to 3D printing if you've seen any other videos on my channel, and I am, but I had backed a Kickstarter project for a Delta 3D printer called the Tico. And I got this thing, and I was actually one of the few people that got it, and it was a nightmare. I had originally invested in this company and in this product as a way to prototype board game manufacturing pieces, because I was a board game manufacturer, and I thought this would be a great way to prototype pieces. And once I spent just a day printing with it, I realized this wasn't the solution that I was looking for. Hi everybody, I'm Patrick from Patty Melts, and I wanted to kind of give myself an experience that I didn't really get, because after that Tico failed, I walked away from 3D printing, and a lot happened in that 10-year period between the Tico and when I bought my first Bambu A1 printer. So I missed out on a lot. I recently had an opportunity to get my hands on an Ender 2 Pro from Creality, and it is brand new in the box. I opened the box to make sure that what was advertised as being in there was actually in there, but I got it for $50 brand new in the box on Facebook Marketplace, and I thought it would be really great, now that I've been spoiled by all my Bambu Lab printers, to kind of rewind the clock 5 years and go back to the Ender 2 Pro. I'm so excited to share all this with you and discover it in real time. All right, let's open this up. Let's see what we got here. So I had opened it up. Got an ad for filament purchase from Inland. I think that's Micro Center's filament, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Got some foam. All right. The printer user manual. The warranty card. What else we got here? Looks like some hot ends, some tools, some filament. I'll get that opened here in a minute. Our power supply. Okay. I'm assuming this is the spool for the filament. Get that set aside. Alright, that's not one. I think this is the screen. Yeah. Oh man, that's cool. It has a retro feel to it, even though it's only 5 years old. And then I think the rest is coming out. Yeah. Check that out. That's pretty cool. We definitely have some assembly here. So, I don't know the best way to get all this out. I don't want to break anything. Okay, that's coming out on its own. That's the top. Is this 3D printed? No, that's injection molded. All right. Man, I don't know the best way to get this out. I don't want to break it. Let's, there we go. We can do that. That's a little heavy. Get this box tossed aside and go from here. That's a funky looking bed. Alright, so I think I have a better idea what's happening here. I don't want to mess anything up. I bet the manual tells you how to take it out. Maybe. Let's see. Nope. I like that the instructions on the Bambu printers tell you how to take it out of the box. It's a curated experience. So here's our first differentiation, is no real way to extract this. And I don't want to, I doubt I would bend this, but this is a cantilever to floating gantry there. I don't want to mess it up. All right. Let's see if we can lift it out as one piece. All right, that worked. Okay, but I think that's connected. I don't want to set it down on that servo. We'll slide that out. And oofda, man, this is involved. And here's the bed. Can I prop this out? Just kind of wedge it up. Yep, all right. We'll precariously toss that foam down. And then here we go. I'm not wild about that. All right, let me gently set that all down. And then I will see you on the other side. I'm going to get some things laid out for us. Well, let's take a look at what they gave us here. Is the mic on? Yeah. So let's take a look at what they gave us here. I busted open all the bags, quite a bit of tools. And here's another different thing. None of the Bambu Lab printers came with these pliers, but I'd rather have a better printer than pliers. So, but I thought it was a classy touch that these cutters, rather, came in there. It looks like we have a little flathead screwdriver, quite a bit of hex tools, a couple little temporary crescent wrenches, and then a little warranty card. And then as far as the actual hardware goes to connect things, not a ton. Like a little jump drive with a little micro SD card in it, some spare parts, and then really just, 7 bolts here, and then whatever this is. I know I get spares of these in every 3D printer, but I don't know what that is. I haven't looked it up. So a little bit of context for you if you are, relatively new. This 3D printer came out in the fall of 2021, and so it was Creality had gotten really popular during the pandemic, and people were home. They had a lot of time to make things. A lot of people were making PPE during the pandemic to help people in the healthcare community and industry and for themselves. And so that would be the predecessor to this, because this came out it did 2021. I'm sorry. It did come out in the fall of 2021. And the Bambu Lab A1 Mini came out in September of 23, with the A1 following just 3 months later in December of 2023. So in quite a bit of time, we went from something like this that requires like manual bed leveling and a fair bit of assembly, it looks like here. There's not a lot of hardware. I've got that kind of precariously stacked up there, right? But a lot more assembly than I'm used to from a Bambu Lab printer. And that's kind of what this is let's rewind the clock 5 years. And if 5 years ago Patrick had decided to get into the hobby, what was he going to be doing? He was going, don't go nowhere. What was he going to be messing with? Right? And it's a neat little thing. It looks a lot more, it's interesting. It looks more like a toy than, say, something like my A1s do, and certainly more than the H series. But it does look legit. So let's, I just wanted to give you some context of kind of like where the industry was at the time. And Creality got really, really popular as a result of people just being home a ton more, right? And a lot of people cut their teeth. But I am also very aware of all of the frustrations from the Ender series, and there are no limits to the memes that exist online. But there's also a lot of controversy right now with Creality as a brand. If you haven't had a chance, go take a look at Fohammer's video with his interesting relationship with Creality. And I don't want to spoil it, but I think everybody should see it. I quite respect him and his opinion, so go check that out. Let's line up some of this hardware and get it together. I am a little embarrassed at how long it took me to kind of decipher. Metric screws are new to me. Metric measuring, not so much. Metric hardware, very much so. So I had to like actually really think about it. I'm confident in what I landed on. Let's see if I screw it up. So our first step is we got to get this XZ axis installed. One of the things that I really appreciate about Bambu is that they use stickers to mark where they might want screws to go, so you're not left wondering. Whereas here on this view, it's not indicating where they actually go. I mean, I can see from the area it's indicating somewhere in here, but it's not readily identifiable. All right, let's figure it out. So for the life of me, I cannot figure out where this connection goes. It's showing that it goes somewhere on the tool head, but the instructions are lacking, and I'm not seeing anything on the tool head where this will go. So I've got to research some stuff offline and figure out where, because it doesn't indicate that I've got to take, you know, the cover off, and the cover doesn't easily pop off, or else I would have done that. And I'm not seeing any connections there. So we got to figure that out. All right, we're back in business. Thank you to this individual that did this video. Who was this? They saved my bacon. Just Vlad. Thank you, Just Vlad. You saved my bacon here today. So check this out. I really wouldn't have found this. I mean, maybe I would have kept looking, but it's in there. So yeah, it's hidden right in there. Sorry, I know that light's harsh, but that's where it goes. All right, back to business. Oh, we didn't connect that. All right, everything's connected. Here is hopefully the most gratifying part, other than maybe printing on it. So let's see. Want to really get this if I can. Not bad. I think we're ready for real this time. So let's get this magnetic plate back on there. This is funky. This is so much looser than I'm used to. Get the cord plugged in, and we'll go through the bed leveling process. All right, we're plugged in. Let's give this a go. Moment of truth. No power. It's not powering on. Nothing. Huh. Well, that is anticlimactic. Let's... Huh. All right, well, let's troubleshoot. All right, I think I spotted what was wrong, and this is on me. It told me to select the correct voltage, right? And so I need to be selecting 115 and not 230. That's wild that this is part of the process. And I saw that back there and was like, that's interesting. And then there's a little sticker back here. Before power on, check the input. I hope I didn't damage anything. Check the correct import. Not import. Gosh, I can't talk. Input voltage. So 115 is what it should be. Hopefully we didn't fry anything. I didn't hear any noises. I didn't smell any smells, right? Nothing actually powered on. So let's give it another go and see if it fires back up. That is 100% my fault. Ha-ha! That was it. Lots of sounds. Oh boy, look at that display. Lots of noises. No bad smells. Wow, look at that screen. So different than what I'm used to. Cool. Oh, this is making some noises. So let's figure it out and get it going here. Look at that screen. That's wild. Okay, so maybe we're gonna need, I don't know if there's any files on here. I don't even know where this goes, to be honest. I'm assuming there, but why is there the instructions don't explain. Why is there is that a Type C or a micro USB? I don't know what's going on there, but there's the SD card slot, I think. I don't know if there's anything on here. Probably shouldn't put that in there with it on. Let me turn it off. Boy, that's a loud little guy. My A1 Mini is not that loud. I don't know if anything comes pre-installed. I'm not even certain if this is the slot or not. Yeah, that's not really seating per se like I would want it to. There we go. That feels like it's correct. There we go. Now that's in there, right? All right. Turn it back on. That fan's pretty loud. Okay. So bed leveling. We want to get to a menu. So we want to go to motion. I just clicked. That felt intuitive. Motion. Auto home. Oh, we're moving. We're doing stuff. That's exciting. Okay, that must be the sensor that tells us when it's there. Because yeah, this is the big difference. This is not auto bed leveling. So we're gonna want. There's a high margin for error here. I'm gonna really, hopefully not. I'm gonna maybe mess this up. And I'm not even sure what's happening here. I know that's got to be the hot end temp, right? So this is crazy. This is fun though. I hope you all are having fun too. Let's slowly step that hot end down on the Z-axis. Man, this is, oh shoot. No, okay, it's homing Z. Okay, no, I went to the wrong setting. Move Z. Let's not go down in 10. It gives me the option. That's nice. 0.1, 1, or 10. So, oh, we're going the wrong way. Oh, really? So it's not going to come down for me? It's just going to go up? What if I want it? How am I supposed to, Man, I have to tell you, I knew from when I first got into 3D printing, I knew that the auto bed leveling was was the big deal, was the really big deal. So I don't know how to, I don't know how to get that closer, because that would just be spaghetti printing. All right, time to research. Give me just a minute. So after a lunch break, because I probably just needed some protein, I was able to figure out that what needed to happen was I needed to fiddle with the bed screws here in order to get it to really do its thing. So I had to just keep messing with this until I was able to drag a paper with enough resistance in each four corners. So thankfully was able to figure that out, and reached out to a couple people that were able to provide some directions. Thanks to Jim at Lunar Prototype. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And I reached out to a local hackerspace I'm a part of, but I think everybody was busy. But we got there, and that's what matters. So now I believe we need to get that bed heated up. So I'm going to go down to temperature here, and I'm going to scroll down to bed. Nope. Preheat for PLA. Yeah. So preheat PLA. That ought to get that going. Is that the right? Let's get it preheated, and I'm just going to print something that's on the card here, and it had a spaceship print, so that sounds pretty rad for me. Again, I just really want to see how this all worked and get it up and going, and then put it next to its successor, which, oh man, this has been just a wild experiment. So the fan's going. It looks like we're at 151 on the hot end, and so I just need to make sure we hit the target temperature, and then we can go from there. We are at the right temperature here, so we're between 190 and 210 with the bed at 60. So thankfully that was pretty easy to read. We're at the right temp. I've got the spool on there, and it says that the next step is to hold the extruding clamp here and fill the filament until it starts coming out. Take you off and get you in there. So there's the extruding clamp, and the filament goes through here, and then you can see the filament start to go in, and then I've got to line it up in such a way without bending it to where it's going to keep tension on there and then pass it through. So I have not succeeded in that yet. And let's see if I can get it to actually let me in. Okay, I figured out what I was doing wrong. I was pressing on this arm too much, and it was wrapping around there. So if I just press on it a little bit, now you'll see it's feeding through. So now I just gotta push it on through and get it down to the hot end until it stops. I think we're there. So let's see if we can get it to print something. So let's print from card, and let's print that spaceship. We've got it hot enough, I believe. Yeah, it's hot enough. So let's see what it decides to do here. Oh, okay, we're laying out probably a flow test. Okay, it's doing something. Oh, that is stringy. I know this filament is dry. It is, that is not going well. Oh, that is not going well. I wonder how you cancel. Okay, yeah, that's just printing a mess. So let's see if we can scrape it and cancel it and start over, see if I can get it better. So I was able to stop it, but this is what we ended up with, is just a mess. So I'm gonna scrape that off and we can give it another go. We had to preheat again, so I've got the temperatures there. And we should be good to try again. I'm not sure quite why it wasn't sticking. This is a different material than I'm used to, and gosh, this machine is so loud compared to, like, it's not like a textured PEI, like it's almost like just like scratchy, like I can't even describe what that is, but I'm not sure. Let's select something else here. We're gonna go to print from card, and then here's our options. We have that spaceship. I have no idea. 2Z. Let's try the spaceship 1. Give that a go again. I did the second one. I'm almost tempted to throw a A1 mini bed on here, but that's not the same thickness. So we'll see what it decides to do here. We're running that flow calibration, I'm assuming. So it looks like we're getting good flow. And it probably is just a matter, yeah, that's not sticking at all. Yeah, we're gonna have to stop it again. So I'm gonna try one more time. Hopefully third time's a charm. But you can see, like, it's not sticking at all. It's just dragging around spaghetti. All right, I'm gonna check one more thing and we'll give it one more try. So hoping third time's the charm. We have everything preheated. We have our PLA loaded, and I hit the bed with a little 99% IPA, and then with a little bit of help from our friends over at Bambu Lab, we have hit the bed with some glue. And so I know this is part of the kind of the quintessential experience, is trying to get everything dialed in. So let's give this one more shot. Gonna print from the card. I don't know what the 2Z is, but spaceship sounds cool. We're gonna try this one more time. Print. Well, I think it's sticking a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough to get it done, but we're further in the process than we have been yet. This has been not easy. I wouldn't classify it as difficult, but I really have enjoyed this process. I think it might actually be somewhat working. Let's let it do its thing. I don't know how long this print is supposed to be. And so here we have it. I'm not exactly sure if the A1 Mini is a direct predecessor, but they sure are the same form factor, and one is definitely better than the other, but that's not what this video is about. This isn't about a machine that stood on other machine shoulders and now this is a really good machine. This is about a process. This is about a journey. But I thought we'd run them side by side and see. I really wanted to try to find this file. And I guess I could export it and give it a go that way. But the day is moving on. We had a lot of challenges, and I might come back and do that on my Instagram. It's the same. It's at Patty Melts if you'd like to follow along there. I kind of post daily stuff there, right? Or maybe I'll do a shorts follow-up. I'm not sure. But this isn't, again, this wasn't about, is this a better printer than this? That goes without saying. Again, this is about the journey. So let's kind of get into that more. So this journey was never about what the better printer is. This journey was about what was that experience like. If you're new to my channel, or maybe I haven't made it obvious enough in past videos, my niche, what I feel I have to offer the world of YouTube is, what are the feelings of this, right? I'd love to get into the technical specs and all of the nerdiness, but I also want to get into what was this like? And so that's why I wanted to do this. I felt on some level I hadn't earned the convenience and the gloriousness and ease that are the Bambu Lab printers, right? It was extremely easy. And so I didn't have a problem for a very long time. So when I encountered a problem, I had no frame of reference. I had no skill set in which to troubleshoot it. And all of the folks that had cut their teeth on the Ender series and the Creality printers and the many other printers that came before it, Tico, oh gosh, there are so many, right? The early Prusas, a lot of those printers, they had earned that knowledge. They had earned it in a hard way, right? They were beat up. They had struggled just to get the printer to work, let alone print something with amazing results. That was a whole separate journey. I got to skip all of that. And I think that's one of the areas that we find ourselves in this hobby, with a lot of people that have strong feelings about a lot of the new entrants into this hobby, right? A lot of the new people that are here now taking up space. And everybody's opinion and perspective, for the most part, matters. You could look at it a bunch of different ways, right? They wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be growing. The technology wouldn't be advancing as fast. It is all ebbs and flows. And so today, on a very small level and for entertainment purposes only, I got to experience some of that frustration. And that frustration was actually really small. But I found that it gave me a profound level of empathy and allowed me to get a little bit of a glimpse in what it must have been like. And so all you folks out there for the last decade that have been trudging through the hobby of 3D printing, you have my empathy and you have my thanks. People like you have made this hobby what it is today. We don't get to stand where we are today if we didn't have the shoulders in which to stand on of those that came before us. So thank you. Thank you for all the hard work you put in. And I am thankful that I don't have to go through that. I am grateful that we have the level of technology where it's darn near a set it and forget it, right? Where I have the luxury of learning about the issues that I need to troubleshoot after the fact, and with some successes and some wins under my belt. So thank you for that. This was a really great video to make. I had a ton of fun doing this. I actually had bought that Ender 2 Pro back in September of last year and was planning on doing this video, not really knowing when the right time was. And I just decided that I wanted to do it. So if you've gotten this far, thank you for joining me on that journey of what this experience was like. If you haven't already and aren't, please do subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on fun videos like this. Give the video a like, it really helps please the YouTube algorithm. And no matter what happens this week, please take some time to create something, take some time to make something. You are so very worth the investment. Have a great week, everybody. If you stayed to the end, I want to give you a little treat here. The entire time I've been editing this, I had no idea how long this print was going to be. We're at 39%. We're 4 hours and 20 minutes into it, and it's still going. Here's what we have. I have no idea what this is going to look like. So stay tuned. I'll probably do it in a follow-up short, but I wanted you all just to see the spaceship from the A1 Mini over here and finished. This spaceship, much bigger. I have no idea what it's going to look like. I'm kind of excited. Hopefully it'll go all night long. I don't know. I hope that it doesn't mess up. All right. Bye, everybody.